Hey, Carrot Cake, what's up? Oh, my chat's not showing up. Let's see. Multi-chat overlay. I've seen it in the YouTube, but that's annoying. Alright. Strange. Multi-chat overlay is not showing up on my stream. Hey, from New Zealand, what's up? Death is primitive concept. Why is my multi-chat overlay not showing up? Maybe it needs to be dragged down. It's right here. Bummer. All right, well, if you're in the Twitch chat, can you comment real quick so I can see if it's popping up in my OBS? Or maybe I'll just do it. I'll just send a message. Hi. Yeah, okay. Just showed up. YouTube is not showing up for some reason. There are plans to adapt farming animated. Well, you're looking at it. I'm adapting it right now. What a coincidence. What a serendipitous moment we're having here. Because this is forming, being adapted for animation. Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. How did you know I was working on this? Well, thanks for the follow. Weird. I don't know why my chat isn't showing up in the stream. Very annoying. I'm just gonna have to live with it though. Alright. I'll show you guys what I'm doing. I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, so sometimes weird things happen. Okay. Thanks, Boss Bug KC. So we've got the evolution on this planet here. I'm working on the big. Working on this real quick. I turn off the YouTube music. And just gonna play through this. So let me make this bigger. Okay. That's where I'm at so far. Hey, Ninetales. So, thanks, Tim Lovas, 822. So, this is this prehistoric Dogon with these early incarnations of the Nomo species and the Mithras species. So, I'm going to take this wide shot. And I'm going to take this wide shot and do like a time lapse of different eras between these two species on Dogon. And then hopefully end up in present day. Not our present day, but present day to the story, to the beginning of the book. We're over 10 minutes in, and we haven't gotten to the beginning of the book yet. But, you know, we've covered other parts. So, this is prehistoric, and then I'm going to do... I don't know if I'm going to cut to... If I want to just, like, cut... Okay, so we have this, like, initiation of the first instance of violence. This is it. This is like the first violence in the universe that ever occurred in the universe. And then the Nomo race becomes enslaved, becomes like a lower on the caste system over the course of millions of years. This relationship between these two species. So, yeah, sorry, I think the for whatever reason the YouTube comments are not showing up in the multi-chat overlay. But you've got them in the sidebar there. Anyhow, so I might spend the next like couple hours just designing. I was gonna give Proto Nomo a little blink here. I'll do that later. I'm just gonna design a new background. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut to modern day. I need to get to the story. It's been 10 fucking minutes, you know. I need to get to the beginning of the book. So this is like the violence that occurs that changes the universe or changes the planet. And then we see this like high civilization cut to. So I'll have the water all like dammed up, all the rocks are leveled, and we've got this like big city situation. So I gotta figure out how to lay that out based around this background, and so that the background's still recognizable as the same location but with all this new shit. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do tonight. It's 9:37. I don't know if I had the Spectrum cable guy come by and check my connections. He replaced some cables again, third time now. We'll see if If my internet holds up. All sorts of technical problems. I wish I knew what I was doing, but I don't. When it comes to this kind of stuff. Alright, let's try to do a new drawing, huh? Alright. I really need another monitor, too. It'd be great to have a third monitor. Okay. I'm gonna copy this line work. Okay. Is this planned to be a movie or a series? It is planned to be a series. Okay. When I was in Japan, there were these like crazy concrete like jacks like like J-A, is it like spelled J-A-X, the game? These little X's on the ground, and you pick up as many jacks as you can when you throw the ball, bounce the ball on the ground, whatever. Anyway, there were these huge concrete jacks in the water that were like creating these dams. Mithras culture is sort of like they're like descendants of fish, but maybe they were like controlling the water. Certain elements. The comic, it didn't draw too much of the pre like apocalyptizing Dogon. You only see some interiors. You don't really start to see the exteriors until it starts going to shit. So I kind of have to make it up. Hopefully my design sensibility will just carry through. There's some time missing. The text saying that the zine will only come with orders made before July 1st is back in the Fantagraphics forming page. You mentioned at some point that every order would come with, so I've been postponing the purchase, but now it seems I'm going to miss out on the zine. I don't remember saying that every order would come with it. I said the pre-orders up until a certain date. I don't know. Fantagraphics told me July 1st was the end date, like months ago. I have a song called Model Land by Tyra Banks stuck in my head. It's such a goofy sounding song. I can't imagine what a Tyra Banks song would sound like. It says August 1st is the mini comic end date when I went to Fantagraphics. You might still have time. Oh shit, you're right. Thanks so much. Oh, okay, there you go. I don't know. I can't keep track of how they're running that operation. I sort of like leave it up to the gods a little bit, you know. I'm not sure exactly how they're handling some of that stuff. I know we're thinking about. I was saying this in the Discord. We're thinking about making little stickers to include also with the pre-orders, but I can't guarantee that one. I gotta have a meeting about it. Stickers based on around some of the like biz dev we're doing the show, the animated version. Hey, it's Tyra. Tyra be running in the New York street with 4 chicks in green, and they all look at me. They're running for their life. The beauty is in strife, running from this wasteland and back to model land. It's pretty dark. Let me look at some of my Dogon imagery. Let me see if I can pull it up. I gotta get some ideas. Based on some. Do I have a Dogon? Do I have a PDF? I think I do. Forming guts. PDF. Compressed. There you go. Let's see if we can find some Dogon imagery. Not in the second book. Maybe the third book. I know there's like the Panopticon. Can't draw that Dogon yet. Hasn't happened yet. Alright, here is Dogon sort of in ruins. But I can kind of... maybe be inspired by this. There's some large... more like elaborate. Maybe the early stuff is more elaborate, and as it goes on in time, it gets more sort of blighted, you know? There's a little bit of like internal organ, kind of organic technology kind of stuff. Okay. There's this stuff. That's just like straight lines. Normal ass Jesse style architecture, just blocks put together, blocks and triangles. that one drawing might be the most representative of Dogon. Late era Dogon. Okay. So I'll use this one as reference. Let me get the more high-res version of this page. Where is it? 126. What did you paint the original forming pages with, and how big are the pages? I do everything on A4, and I'm wondering if it's too small to translate to printing like manga. Tankobon size books. I did all my forming comics on 11 by 14 inch paper. Bristol Vellum. One 26. There we go. Screenshot this. Screenshot this one too. What's up? What's up? Alright. So let's put this on the side as reference. Just so I don't feel totally ungrounded when designing this kind of stuff. Land sounds kind of scary. There's a whole book in place of that name to take photos. Sounds nefarious. How much landscape drawing have I done in my life? In my whole life? Carrot cake. Oh yeah, I didn't ask part of that question. I answered part of that question. I paint with airbrush, gouache, sometimes a little bit of Copic markers, and ink, and sometimes colored pencil. But my main tools are gouache, acrylic gouache, and acrylic gouache and airbrush. Okay. What's up, Dead Man's Diary? Okay, so let's try to figure this out here. So this area would still be, because the characters would be like about this tall. I can't draw any big buildings in the foreground. Jizzy Jazz. Alright, let's start in the bed, way back. Okay. Okay. I'm feeling like a little bit apprehensive, you know? A little not confident. I'm gonna copy this building. This is some ancient building that's lasted thousands of years. Millions of years. Thousands of years. I don't know. This is probably where the Emperor lives. Inside this building. Okay. And then it'd be like sort of like a fortress to get in. There was that old Christopher Nolan movie. Not Christopher Nolan, Christopher Lambert movie. I think it was called Fortress. And it was about, I think it was from the 90s. It was about like all the energy running out in the world or something like that. Maybe it was about perpetual, like free energy, like perpetual motion or something. Maybe I'm making that. Trash with color, so wanted to get some practice with everything in forming looks so soft and juicy. I like acrylic gouache because you can kind of go thick with it. You can paint over stuff. It's still flat and matte looking, but you can kind of treat it like watercolor. But unlike watercolor, you can build up opaque layers. Let's see here. Maybe there'd be some like giant statues. This. Am I juggling 3 different chats? I'm juggling 2 different chats. Twitch and YouTube. But and my YouTube chat is not transforming onto my OBS, so I have to look at. It's not translating over to my OBS. So I have to look at my YouTube stream to see the YouTube chat. I don't know why. Something was different today. It might be because I got part of the, like, what do you call it? YouTube partner program. Maybe that's why. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to like reset the chat or something. I don't even know how I set that up. Multi-chat overlay. Do you know if Forming will get a big print run, or is that all dependent on pre-orders? Being Fantagraphic, it's likely they will be kept in print. Was a shame to miss the last printings. I think that they are. Hold on, get the music going. I think they're doing a print run of, maybe they're doing an initial print run of 2000, and if there's more, then they'll just print more. But we'll have to see how, you know, how well it does. I think the original Forming Volume 1 probably sold around 4,000 copies. They did 2 runs of it. Typical print run for indie comics is around 2,000. The hardback edition, I don't know if they'll do a second run of the hardback edition. They might, if they do a second run, they might do a soft cover, you know. But they're sending me preview copies in the mail this week, and I'm gonna shoot a little commercial for it. But I saw they showed it to me on Zoom, and this shit looks really good. I was nervous. I was like having anxiety about how this book was going to turn out, but I think it looks fucking real good. What's included in the new print? I made some pages. I made like 5 or 6 new pages for it that don't exist in the web version or in the original print version. It's got the 3rd volume. It's got a new family tree of characters insert. It has some new contextual illustrations and chapter breaks and a sick fucking package. Might include if you pre-order, it includes a zine that was out of print, and might include stickers of the 3D renderings that we're working on for the animated adaptation. But I think I have a screenshot of the publisher holding the book. posted it on my Patreon. So this is the cover. They took like, I wish they had taken a 3/4 view of the cover, so you could see, but that's how thick it is. And here's my publisher holding it. And that was my reaction. Did I make that font? Yeah. I'm afraid of using other people's fonts. I get really hung up about it. Okay. Some point I gotta figure out though, like roadway, the road system. People kind of travel early on. Maybe there was like, maybe these could be like energy fields. Got this. See you, Raph. Take it easy. Just gotta like commit to putting some ideas down, you know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with this. So. Do some roads. Okay. Forgot to tag Rosinski. I don't know who Rosinski is. These big generators. Oops. Something like that. Generators at the outskirts of the city. Maybe like a big mess of power lines or something. So that would be like these like conduit things. And then this big old huge power lines that run across. Thanks, Blaze. How do you pick the names of your characters like Nomo? Most of the characters in Forming are based around some sort of like mythological, historical figure. Or religious character in whatever, some world religion. So forming is meant to be sort of like a revisionist history. So I didn't really make up any names. They're all based on characters found in old stories. When I'm working on stuff that's more fictional, then I usually think of names that kind of describe the character in some way. Alright, so I've got these like running paths, power line paths, I guess. Think about how this would work. Sunday, Monday. Yeah, I just like base them on archetypes, so they're named after the sun and moon. It's just an easy way to identify their personality traits. So this could be a big power line coming out here. Be cool if I looked at some old, what do you call it? Some old, some old Japanese castles or something. Let's see. Just to get some ideas. Let's just start here with like, it's more like Hoover Dam-y kind of vibes. Pilot to Jesus 2 rules. Also, the interview with Jesus 2. Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. Professor Grass. Appreciate it. I don't know if what I'm doing is good, but I'm just gonna go with it and then keep modifying it until I think it's good. Maybe I'll make a big, sort of like oil vat or something. Oil refinery thing. Two of them. Thanks, Jen. Just working on the adaptation of my comic currently for animation. So some of the stuff in the comic I never drew. So in the animation, it's almost like there's a more elaborate. It's going to be like a expanded sort of, you know, which is kind of crazy. Oil refinery. Oops. And then we'll have some outlets here. Go to the ground. Something like that. We'll have this branching off this way. Over here. This will go this way. It'll be all like, okay. It's like they didn't have anyone. They just like were doing this as they went, you know? No, no OSHA. Okay, and then we need some more roads cutting through. Kind of like here, maybe. What kind of vehicles? I never depict. I only depict vehicles like once in this whole comic. Well, one ship and one like Emperor cruiser thing, because the like bourgeois class can kind of fly, so they don't need vehicles really, unless they're trying to protect themselves. So I kind of have to think about that. What do these vehicles look like? Because I just indicate them as dots down here. Like the sort of proletariat is driving vehicles. Alright, let's get rid of some of this underdrawing. I'll have to see what like remains. What's the comic about? The comic is sort of my creation myth based around stuff I've been interested in for the past 20 years or so. It's sort of about ancient alien civilizations. It's about the devil. It's about art and pursuing enlightenment. And it's about relationships. Covers all the bases, basically, I think. It's just like sort of my, at least from my 20s through my 40s, my treatise on existence, maybe. If I made another follow-up story, maybe I would call it Deforming as I get older. Yeah, the comic's called Forming. It was in print years ago, and then it's been out of print for about 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. But then it's getting reprinted with the final chapter in it in September. Actually, October is when it's actually coming out to the public, but I'll have copies before then when I go on tour. But the original comic, this is the original comic. 2 volumes. This was the first volume. There was a second volume. And then I made a third volume. That took me 8 or 9 years to finish, something like that. So, and then recently a company wanted me to adapt it. So I've been adapting it for animation. Um, yeah. I can't wait to get the physical copies. They're coming in the mail this week of the new final collected edition. Hardback. It's gonna be sweet. Alright, just gonna keep working on this background. Got this. Alright. Just gonna draw these like chanty, you know. Just block out some areas here. Industrial buildings. Some sort of like oh, I'm drawing on the wrong. Drawing on the wrong layer. Copy. Delete. Paste. All right. Shipyard sort of crane things, those things that look crazy on the fucking, you see them when you drive going on road trips. Something like that. It's an industrial thing. Housing, people living in favela type situations. Indications of things to work on in the future here. Oh yeah, I have a Discord. I'm very active in the Discord. There's another road. Crossing. Something like that. And then I need another like really tall something. About this. Oh, thanks, Jen. Hope you like hanging out there. I try to keep it pretty active in there. And then maybe like some crazy sort of Colosseum looking. Think about this. Colosseum. Maybe like a album kind of thing. It could be like it's like floating. Areas. Is that where the God Bust occurs? No, God Bust occurs on a different planet. That occurs on the Angramenu fortress, which is its own area. It's not on Dogon, but it's in the Sirius solar system. Oh shit! All my hard work. Right. We don't see any people here yet, so I probably should populate it. So, from here to here. Alright, so I'll draw some characters in. I'm going to combine these two layers. Oh yeah, and then I gotta do like a whatever, like 300 million years later or whatever. Let's see. What was the last? It's right here. $9 million years. 9 billion years. So I'm gonna say like um 14.5 billion years. 14.5. How old is the Earth? 14.5 billion years. Alright, so I'll put the characters all on a layer here. I'll have these little cars going, these little vehicles. And then if I need to like dig back in and add some more context to the evolution stuff, I will, but for now I feel like I'm just gonna cut to the story, you know? Like I've spent so much time on the beginning of the universe at this point. 10 minutes. It's fucking crazy to like set everything up. I'm probably gonna have to cut it down. Or maybe not. Maybe I just make something that's like totally, what do you call it? Excessive, you know? Overindulgent. Sharks are older than Polaris. Polaris was born like 70 million years ago, and sharks have been around for over 300 million years. I wish sharks were more chill. Let's put a little guy here. This doesn't make sense size-wise. Sort of conflicts with that, so I'll make him a little bit bigger. I think. Maybe this will be the power plant, and this is actually where the Emperor lives. So I'll put a little... think about this. I'll figure out this like exact design later, but maybe nobody was right. Though, well, this is before. This is like at the height of Dogon civilization. This is before things start to go ass up, you know. Hey yo, just seeing that you're live. Jesus 2 is genuinely the most bachelor thing I've seen in a while, and I hope to every god that it gets picked up somewhere. Thanks another week, Chef. Alright. Alright, this is good enough for a sketch idea of like what early Dogon, not early Dogon, but like pre-fall of Dogon looked like. Where does Jesus 2 live? Jesus 2 lives in like a remote part of the galaxy that is hard to find. Sort of like hidden somewhere. No one knows. No one knows exactly where he lives except for his roommate, Peter. Some people think that his roommate is Jesus one, but his roommate is actually Peter the apostle. Apostle? Peter Prison Meat is his new name. That's the guy who's like pinned, crucified on the wall at the end of the short. Okay. So then we're just gonna we're gonna go to here, and then we're gonna cut. We're gonna go. Listen to me be incoherent. And then we're gonna go. Here. Just making some word lines from guidelines for myself. Let me put some more ambient music on. Johnny Pemberton as Peter rules. Also love that you got Fatum in there too. Yeah, Josh Fatum. Loved him in Twin Peaks: The Return. Johnny Pemberton is a bud. He's always down to do shit, which is really cool. Where do we go? This album is called The Ultimate Melody, and I feel like they're just gonna do this melody the whole time. Let me see. I'm gonna skip ahead and see if they're just doing this one melody. Okay, let's switch it up. Just making sure. I checked out the Discord. It's like a roller coaster in there. You're very talented, though. Thank you. If you want to keep it simple in the Discord, you can just post in the Holy Temple. That's just where the general chat is. I'm so hungry. I'm just gonna have to go to sleep early. $14 billion. I guess it's 14.5 billion, but yeah, I put that in there. According to our estimations. Billion. Eat some food. I'm on a diet. I'm trying to get skinny. $14 billion. Yozu. I'm kind of like speedrunning the next 2 months of my life, like eating wise. I'm trying to drop like 15 to 20 pounds in the next 2 months. We'll see. We'll see if I can do it. $14. I should put the 0.5 somewhere. I'm on a lean bulk right now and I don't like it. I'm actually much prefer being on a cut. It's the font used for Beavis's Metallica shirt. Oh yeah, maybe. So it is kind of like Beavis's shirt font. $14 billion years. 14. Where do I put the 0.5? Do I put it? I'll do this. Because it's 2. 14. I'll put parentheses here. Oh wait. Losing weight for a special occasion. Well, I gained like, I've talked about this a lot. Maybe people don't like to hear me talk about this, but I gained like 35 pounds during the pandemic, and I never dropped it. I never got back to my original weight. So it's been like 4 years of me being kind of chubbed out. And I recently just was like, fuck, I can't do this anymore. Fucking getting back to how much I weighed before the pandemic. So for the past 5 months, I've been calorie counting. And I've lost like 15 pounds. But it kind of plateaued, so where I wasn't losing any more weight for the past like 3 weeks. So I'm just like going, I call it sicko mode. And I'm just like really calorie cutting for the next like 2 months to see if I can force it to happen. And then hopefully I don't yo-yo back up to 204 again. Am I hitting the gym? Yeah, I go to the gym like 3 days a week. Yeah, that's what I did. I was plateauing, so then I ate normal for a week. Just went like ate whatever I wanted for about a week last week. And then this week I started again calorie counting, but this time like pretty severe calorie counting. So we'll see if it works. I'll know by next week. But I'm trying to get back down to like before the pandemic. So I was like, I topped out at like 204, and that was like 5 months ago. It was like 204, 204 pounds. And before the pandemic, I was like between 165, 170. So I'm just trying to get back down. If I can get down to like 175, I'll be happy. I'm at like 188 right now. So yeah, it fucking sucks, dude. It sucks. I'm so hungry all the time. Just drink a lot of water. But I feel more, I just didn't have the motivation. I was like fighting sort of like ongoing, pretty like, I don't know what I would call it, like monotonous depression or something for the past like 4 years. And just like working and eating to sort of get past it. And I feel like mentally in the right place to care about my health more, so I'm just trying to take advantage of the moment when I feel like what do you call it, like momentum and enthusiasm. So yeah, this is the longest I've tried a couple times since the pandemic to lose the weight, but I would just give up after like 2 months and just go back to going crazy over at the burrito house. And the ice cream burritos, pizza, you know, all the yummy things, pad thai, ordering Chinese food. Yeah. And like 5 months ago, I started feeling some sort of like inner fortitude or something. And I was like, this is the time. So that's the reason, really. I was also like getting like high blood pressure and stuff like that results from my doctor, and they were like, you gotta lose weight. So that was also a motivating force factor. High blood pressure, not super high, but enough to be like, oh, my health is declining, you know. Slightly high cholesterol. Yeah. So majorly cutting down on sugar and bread, eating lots of protein, fruits and veggies. Yeah. So I'll get my blood work done in the next 2 months and see if I made a turnaround. Yeah, I've got a note on my wall from the doctor says cholesterol, not so good. $14.5 billion years. I'll put a little sound effect there. Let me find it. Where is it? There it is. Copy. Put that here. We'll let this one sit for 2 seconds. Let this one sit for 3 seconds. Okay. And then I need like some sort of like door slamming transition sound here. So let's find that. You had 2 steaks yesterday. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna pause this. We're super repetitive. thing, and let's go through my Foley. Forming Foley, my Foley sound library. My anime sound library here. We'll find the right sound. I've been using this library a lot, but let's see. Put this over here, put this over here. All right. It's pretty silly. Use that one way too much. Maybe explode. Explode or something? Anything like whip crack followed by bubble pop? That one's kind of cool. It's not really, it doesn't sound like a punch. It sounds like a weird, like, transition, you know? I'm gonna use this and see how it feels. Yeah, I was watching some DBZ fight scenes and I was hearing all these sounds all over it. It's funny how they go crazy with the sound design sometimes. All right, so we'll go like this, and then see how this feels. should put some ocean sound. That's not quite it. I could keep that sound in there, but that's not the sound. That's not the sound. And I need it to hang out there longer too, so that I'll make this 3 seconds long. Okay. I really gotta find this, like, could be a music cue, maybe, instead of sound effect, but let's see if we can find something. Oh, where'd my list go? Where's my list? I'll just bring up a new list. Foley. All right, let's find it. Da, 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 da. That's kind of cool. It's a little bit ominous. It's just like an ominous bell. Not used for the billion years. I love those up sweeps. Alright, I'm just going to use this toll, bell toll, and see if that helps. This is all just temp anyway. Put you in there. Put you in there. Boingo boingo. Alright, let's see how this feels. Yeah, it feels better. Alright, how about I put in just some ambient ocean waves for here. Do I have ocean? Do I have ocean? Let's see. Ambient sounds. Cave, city ambience, gentle surf rolling on sandy beach. Yep. All right. Let's put that in here. So I'll put this up here. Gentle surf rolling on sandy beach. Split clip. Okay. Let's see how this feels. All right. Now I can finally get to the story. Save. All right, y'all. Where do I find these fun sounds? I've been collecting them for a couple years. And whenever someone has a sound library, I ask them for their sound library. You know? All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to peace out, play some video games, and go to sleep. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy now. Bye.